Food hygiene and safety should be on the forefront in our hospitals and other institutions following the rampant outbreak of cholera, and therefore, lecturers at NIBS Technical College got a training on food hygiene and safety, which was done by Mr. Harrison Mushiri, a member of the Loyalty Institute of Public Health located at UK, and he works for Aspire Food Safety Standards, which deals with food safety trainings.
I'm Harrison Mushiri. I'm a member of the Loyalty Institute of Public Health. I work for Aspire Food Safety Standards. It's an organization that is tasked with food safety consultancy and food safety trainings.
Mr. Harrison Mushiri has been working for Aspire Food Safety Standards since 2008, based in Westlands, Nairobi, and the main office is in Dubai, and thus he has an experience in the hospitality industry, both in Kenya and Dubai.
I've been working for Aspire Food Safety from 2008 August. It's based in Westlands, Dubai, and Westlands, Nairobi. Our head office is in Dubai, Tehran, and I have been in the industry for quite some time. I started back in 1994. I was working for Alliance Hotels in Safari Beach, and worked with Safari Beach, and I worked to Travelers TV, and by the time I was leaving Kenya, I was a restaurant manager in charge of Indian restaurant and coffee shop. So I have a lot of experience in Kenya and both abroad on food industry.
Mushiri was invited by NIBS Technical College staff in order to equip lecturers of hospitality department with relevant skills on food handling and safety, and as he tells us, he was sent to do a presentation for NIBS because they want to get good students to join the industry.
The agenda today was to do a presentation to NIBS because we feel that we want to have students who are getting in curriculum hospitality industry to have a knowledge of what is happening, the trends in terms of food safety, in terms of things that are affecting the food business in general.
The purpose of today's workshop was to actually equip the hospitality trainers with the relevant skills when it comes to food handling safety.
And the training was all about food safety and hygiene measures that are carried out maybe in the food production workshops, so that you can be able to provide safe food maybe to the public if you are in business, and at home to the families during the food preparation processes.
Tackled some units like HSCP, which is hazard analysis and critical control point, and says the problem with Kenya's food production institutions is poor cost, which makes production to be low. On the other hand, he says Kenya has moved from food safety to food effects, and anyone who is involved in offering harmful food might be sued, and he gave an example of Nairobi Hospital.
When we talk about hazard as a way it is, as I said, hazard is hazard analysis, critical control points of the food chain. The problem we have in Kenya, we want to cut costs. Share with you a small experience from a professional perspective. When we first heard about Nairobi Hospital outbreak of cholera, people thought that the water that they were using is bad. Yeah. But unfortunately, from the professional perspective, if Nairobi Hospital uses the same water all other operators are using, then the carrier of the cholera virus is not water. So that eliminates water. Because if we had an outbreak with 3-4 other companies related with Nairobi Hospital using the same water, then we would not rule out water. So water was not the carrier.
When it comes to customer satisfaction, the trainees need to understand the food production process and consider food hygiene and safety, which will help avoid food poisoning in the hospitality industry.
Training the student as at the same training the trainers on the issues of hygiene, especially to incorporate it, that is to make sure that they do not only learn the skills alone, but they also been able to handle the food. For instance, if you have to produce a chef at the end of the training, then if that chef, can he or she produce safe food? That's the question, because there is always customer satisfaction when it comes of the security, in terms of safety of food. When they take food, they will not have problem with the food poisoning and all that.
For one to be able to monitor hygiene in food production, a practitioner needs to understand the hazard analysis principle, because they cover all the areas needed to provide a healthy and hygienic food for human consumption.
In order for you to be able to do a good, to monitor hygiene in business, in the kitchen or in a food workshop, you need to be able to understand a HACCP principles mainly. Majorly, they cover all the areas that you need to be able to observe, so that you can be able to provide good, healthy and fit food for consumption.
Since the hospitality department curriculum does not offer specific guidelines concerning food safety and hygiene, the training will help the lecturers to use the knowledge attained from the workshop to deliver to the students, because the public health department is in charge of supervising on the ground whether the food offered is safe for human beings.
Yeah, it is going to benefit the department majorly because, one, we've not had, the curriculum actually does not give specific outlines concerning food safety hygiene. If you see the issues about hygiene and food, they are basically a small unit within the Department of Health, or rather the Ministry of Health, which is the Public Health Department, whereby we have officers who actually go onto the ground and check if people are practicing these hygiene practices. Basically, it is going to help us in the department in that now we have had a training, at first-hand training. We are able to incorporate the processes and the procedures, so that as we train our students to be able to come out as ready students, ready people to go to the market, they're able to carry on those activities and be able to make sure that they have carried on well with the practices of hygiene, and therefore providing safe food to the public.
The lecturers did not have enough content on how to train students about hygiene, but the training has really equipped them with enough knowledge. But the big question might be, how will the workshop benefit the hospitality department of NIBS Technical College? And Mr. Meroka makes it clear. Kenya National Examination Council offers a unit known as hazard analysis, which deals with hygiene and safety of food.
Once the teachers have been equipped with the hazardous points in a food handling environment, you realize that they can pass it on to the students. We have a HASP training or a HASP unit which is offered by NEC, and the students get trained on. This was more of a capacity building, new emerging challenges when it comes to food safety and handling. So with the upgraded information or the renewed knowledge, this would be passed on to the students.
Basically, we never had the content on what we were supposed to have taught our students about hygiene. Despite the fact that we practice the normal hygiene that are required, that the information or the kind of knowledge that we have had today is extensive, and therefore we have added at least something, and we are going to incorporate that to the learners.
Also, Madam Lynette Olamo, a lecturer at NIBS Technical College in the hospitality department, tells us that they will use the added knowledge to deliver to the students.
This is an area that I tackle, and with this added knowledge, or what I've actually learned today is supposed to top up on the knowledge I had previously, and I think I will deliver in a much better way than probably before. I'm looking forward to sharing what I learned today with my students.
Of course, we'll go back to a meeting. We'll have a committee to actually improve the curriculum on that specific unit. And once we have actually structured it, we would roll it out to the students through training.
It was a good enlightenment for the lecturers who were trained on food hygiene and safety, and according to Mr. Rogers Meroka, the head of academic affairs at NIBS Technical College, the lecturers have been equipped with new knowledge in food environment and they are ready to apply it to their students who will later join the hospitality industry. Nicholas Kioko, NIBS TV, Kiambu.